What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well today. Welcome to Whiptown, USA. This track is made by a man who needs no introduction. He's made well over 300 tracks now in his entire track making career, spanning all the way back to Motocross Madness about 19 or so years ago. He done a whole bunch of tracks on Reflex and Alive. He's the person who created Kingston 2, for example, on Reflex. On Alive, he made the original JS7 compound as that game's DLC, and he made about 300 tracks or so in the MX Simulator community. And he's done a couple of free tracks for us on MX Bikes as well. It is Mr. Air Wheelie himself. This is a perfect transition. This wasn't even intended. It is Mr. Checkers448. So Whiptown, USA. If I go over to the start line real quick and I hover above it, this area right here will look very, very familiar to you who are well up to date with your American national races. You'll notice it is very, very similar to Hangtown in terms of its layout. He's worded it as it's Hangtown if Tyler Berryman took over it. So imagine there's going to be a hell of a lot of big flowy jumps. I always like Checkers' tracks flow overall as well. And it does really impress me that he does still, I think, almost all of his track building in Photoshop. So if you're good at something, then stick with it, by all means. It shows that you can get really good results no matter what you use. And we've got right here, I think this is called the Kells Booter, something like that. Kells helped him a lot on this by the sounds of it. He thanks him on the MX Bike shop post. And we've even got a little bit of a Linda banner going on there as well. You love to see that stuff. Thank you very much, Checkers. I appreciate that. So we're going to spin some laps of this track today, see how it goes, and please pay attention throughout the entirety of the video because he has also sent me 4 codes for giveaways for this track, which I believe when you go on the shop, you can just enter them on there. So I'm going to pop them up randomly on the screen in the editing process. So if you get one of them codes, GG, make sure you give Checkers a big old thank you. And if you don't, then maybe next time. But without further ado, let's spin some laps and have some fun. Now, there is a rumour going around that I may or may not have stolen Skills' 2023 #1 plate bike. I was just going through my Yamaha skins, and for some reason I have this downloaded in my game already. And since your boy does get to run the red #1 plate for next year's Outdoors for a single round before I end up losing the red plate again, but at least I get to have the #1 for the rest of the season, I'm going to give it a go, try it on for size a little bit, see how it goes. And this isn't too far away from home, to be fair, because this bike has the Blitzco graphics on it, which means it was probably made by Mr. 327, who used to make all of my FXR stuff when I first got the chance to go over to FXR. So we're going to rock this, see how it goes, and hopefully BP doesn't get too upset with me that I'm not running one of his bikes, but I am running his gear, so can't hate that too much. Let's see how this goes, how it rides, how it feels. I don't have, I mean, I'm guessing there are some changes in terms of the overall layout to the real life Hangtown track. Just for example, we haven't got that weird uphill followed by downhill off camber section, which I don't think I've ever seen any real riders' POVs on that section as a whole, but at least with how it translates over into game, I was never a massive fan of it. It always just felt a little bit awkward. It's a bit easier in MX Bikes to do than on MX Simulator, for example. When I've played it on Sim in the past, you are just tiptoeing, you're waiting for that front end to go. If you're in too low of a gear, the engine braking, especially on a 250, will make your front end tuck as well. And that is very nice and flowy. I didn't expect to hit that so easily. Here we go. We've got first big old boot. It used to be the Flyer 150. Definitely a lot shorter now than it used to be in the past. And so we hook a left here this time instead of going to the right and doing a big roller section. So let's see what Checkers has cooked up for us. Definitely going to be faster to stay low there if you want to be try-harding, or if you want to go on the right-hand side, get a little bit more airtime, maybe a little bit of steez, get the bike sideways over it, then you can do so as well. Big old tape up here into some rollers. Can we get any trip? Okay, we can triple again. Yes, you might be able to quad there. You might be able to go quad and then double your way out. Typical Hangtown kind of finish line, and then we hook it inside here. We don't loop back onto the start straight properly, but we go kind of under to the inside of the start straight and then rejoin the track here. We've got a Nico banner, we've got a Racetech banner, of course. Checkers does work with Racetech in real life, to the best of my knowledge. This was some years ago, I don't know if he still does. And then we hit a big old double step up, some more Lins banners. Love to see, oh, I've got multiple Lins sections. Oh, don't crash, please, not in my own section, please. Yes. Love to see that. Love boosting my ego a little bit. Here you go. Here's Kells' step up, floating into the corner. Got the MX Bike shop banner over there, which looks like it's been made a little bit dirty or like baked in the sun over time. If that's an intentional effect or if it's from the lighting, from the really, really pretty looking skybox as well, I have no idea. Let's get sideways over this. Big old double air wheelies only. Know what, Chris? Just for you. Air wheelies only. Yes, sir. Let's go. So channel your inner Ronnie Mac. And one thing I'm just going to throw out there, boys. I am trying to record like 2 or 3 days worth of videos today, and I'm recording this on Thursday. You're going to see it Friday morning. If any of you are up to date on anything, Friday morning, 5 a.m. UK time, the new Call of Duty Black Ops 6 releases. I am very, very excited. I am really excited indeed. I was having a look through, because I'd like to try and stream some of my COD grinding. I would just go with Twitch only, but then I kind of want more eyes on it, so then I thought, oh, maybe YouTube only. And then in the stream the other day, one of you guys, I do apologise, I've forgotten who commented it, but they mentioned about a service called StreamYard, which is basically a multi-streaming platform. It's web-based, and you can stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. I went through it all, paid for the first month. It was like $25, I think, something like that. And then went through it, done a little test stream, and the maximum quality you can go to is 1080p, and the bitrate on it just looked really, really poor. I wasn't like pleased with it at all, so I cancelled that. Still had to spend $25 to be fair. But I found a OBS plugin, which apparently also lets you do multi-streaming. So I'm going to try and work on that a little bit today to see if I can get it set up, because I would like to do both at the same time, just so mostly for you guys, because some of you prefer watching stuff on YouTube, some of you prefer watching stuff on Twitch, although I personally cannot stand Twitch ads. I think they are so annoying and intrusive as well. I was trying to watch, there's a bit of a cheeky method that you can do where whatever service you're using to play Call of Duty, whether it's Xbox, PlayStation, PC, you can pretend that you're from New Zealand, and you basically get the game a full day early, just because how the time zones work. And a lot of creators do that. I was watching Shotzi, who is a COD pro, if you're unfamiliar with the scene, playing the game, and it looked quite good. It looked fairly fun. You know, I was watching him running around, diving around, and it looked enjoyable. But then every now and then, we'd get some ads pop up, and it's literally like 4 minutes of unskippable ads, and it's just absolutely insane. So I'm missing 2-3 different rounds of this search and destroy game here from these ads popping up. It's really, really annoying to deal with. So I'll see how it goes. I'll try and like lower the ads. What's the word? Intensity is not the right word. The frequency of the ads on the Twitch side of things, because I think you always have to play them no matter what, but you can choose the frequency at which they occur. Twitch is a weird website. I'm pretty sure they're still losing money because of how much it costs them to host the servers and just host the service overall, and how much money they have to pay out to creators. So we'll see what happens. I'll see how it goes. But if I don't end up getting it working, then it'll probably be just on the YouTubes. I'm just going to throw it up on YouTube. Probably won't save it as a VOD, so it doesn't clutter in with all the motocross stuff. But that is my plans over the next couple of days. Probably over most of the weekend, I will be playing Call of Duty. So if you've been hoping for some MX bike streams, I apologise. You might have to go and get that fix somewhere else. But it's nice for me, at least, to play something different now and then, and not get too burnt out on the same game over and over again. It does end up getting quite hard to get burnt out on MX bikes these days when you get really fun, enjoyable new tracks releasing. And I think, again, I've said this every single time Checkers has released a track, but it looks like the texturing work has improved again and again. If anyone remembers his first one that he made, it was very, very simple in terms of the texturing. And in my mind and in my head, this is where we all came from, banging song. In my mind, I truly believe that texturing is probably the most important part of any track. It's something that I really, really struggle with, like really, really badly. It's why Moto 101 hasn't come out at all yet, because I just can't texture to save my life. I'm probably going to outsource and try and get someone else to do it for me, and probably just pay them some money and see how that goes. But yeah, the actual on-track stuff, you can have an amazing track. You can probably have this exact same track that I'm playing right now, and if it had really ugly, awful textures and the general environment and scenery just didn't look nice at all, I don't think people would play it for very long. But because it is nice and flowy and it's good on the eyes, the lighting's really nice, the skybox is pretty, there's enough objects around to keep it looking full and not empty, it will keep people playing it for a really, really long time. I'm going to turn around here because I feel like if you downside this first jump well enough, you might be able to step all the way onto the top of the next uphill. If I scrub this hard, keep it in second gear, there you are, yeet, up to the very tippy top. Yeah, there you go, barely. The back wheel tagged a little bit there, but we got over it just enough to not get any weird rebounds at all. Yeah, it flows really, really nicely. It's really, really fun, really impressive, really enjoyable track. I've got no idea when I'm going to put the codes in this video, so I hope you all have been paying attention. I might even just flick it up for half a second to force people to sit there and watch it. Really, really nice of checkers as well to give away some codes, because if you think about it, that's another 4 track sales that you could have like easily just pocketed. But he wants some people to enjoy it if maybe they don't have the means normally, and I respect that. Massive shout out to him. It was a really nice thing to do, and it wasn't an idea I had. He just sent me some codes originally and was like, here you go, here's some giveaway codes for everybody. So big old W to him. I'm gonna throw it out there that this is probably bias isn't the right word, but this layout of let's call it Hangtown, this actual ground layout right now is much more enjoyable than the default Hangtown track layout. So if anybody has anything to do with Hangtown and how the track rides, then maybe just, you know, spend the hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions maybe on all the machinery and like moving all the dirt around and hiring people to basically just recreate this on your property rather than dealing with what we have to. Obviously we don't have the awkward uphill off Cambry bit, so I feel like that's a bit of an iconic part of Hangtown that maybe you can't get rid of. But over the back section, so the complete opposite corner of the map that I'm on right now, so kind of left and off that way, that bit can change. I'm not a big fan of that bit in real life and how it's been. It always seems to feel a little bit one-lined, and I don't know, it doesn't make for the most exciting racing, especially when you end up... do you remember in the past where you dropped into that almost like half pipe? You turn like right in it and then left on the exit, and I don't know what they were thinking with that either. But it's a bit better these days, the overall layout, I think, but this is much more enjoyable. At least it works better in an in-game sense, but then that's what it's made for. You know, it's not made... This isn't made to be ridden in real life. It's made for us to have some fun in MX bikes and hopefully not case everything too bad. There we go. We regained. We recovered. One thing I'm quite surprised by is these ruts aren't the deepest ruts in the world. You know, you can feel the back end. It does drift a tiny bit, like there, but it's a controllable amount of drift. It's not, so it doesn't feel like you're flat tracking. So there's just enough to use some of the middle of the tyre, and then every now and then it might step out a bit. Let me try not to over scrub this jump for the first time. There we go. Ooh. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Wait a second, let's just turn around real quick. Do you think I could send that jump and downside the first roller and then get into an alternative rhythm? Maybe. Let's go around the outside. We'll give it a go. I'm going to try and hit this corner as fast as I can. That wasn't very fast at all. And then we'll send this. It's a little bit out of reach. Turn into a backflip, won't we? No, we won't. I don't know if that's doable. Will any of you be joining me on the COD grind this weekend? Will you be playing it as well, or are you at the point now, or maybe you was never into Call of Duty to begin with, which is absolutely fair, or are you at the point where you used to love COD and now, over the years, where it's got more and more saturated and a bit more, I guess, I don't even know if arcade is the right word, you know, but people are running around as Nicki Minaj and Snoop Dogg shooting each other, and I don't know, I do feel like COD's fallen off a little bit. I'm just more intrigued, first of all, having some round-based zombies back to begin with. That's always really, really enjoyable. I am a big zombies fan. But then also on the multiplayer side of things, I'm more excited for the old prestige system. And I did see a tweet the other day. Was it a tweet? I don't know if it's a tweet or a TikTok. Maybe it's a TikTok showing a tweet, because that's a thing these days, of someone being like, there's people that play the Call of Duties these days that never got to experience the old prestige system, and damn, I feel old. And that is very, very true. It does make me feel quite old. I've been got on a little bit, I'm not going to lie. The first Call of Duty I ever played was World at War, and I'd hate to imagine how many years ago that was at this point. I was a bit backwards. I played, I rented World at War at the time, when Blockbusters was still a thing. If that's a thing in the US, I don't know, but in the UK, Blockbuster, you could just rent films and games from. And I remember renting Call of Duty World at War originally, and then liking it so much, and then being told by my friends at school to get Call of Duty 4 because it was even better, and I did, and then really enjoyed that as well, and then it just snowballed from there. I think my all-time peak and prime in Call of Duty was back in the original Modern Warfare 3, not the modern days Modern Warfare 3, but the original Modern Warfare 3, MP7, silencer, running the specialist setup, kill confirmed, just run around absolutely slaying. Back when public lobbies were actually more enjoyable, because there wasn't really any skill-based matchmaking. Absolutely loved those days, would give anything to have that back then. But, you know, it's not too bad. I now get to play video games a little bit for a living. Granted that it is one video game at the moment, but maybe that will change in the future. Maybe we'll be able to branch out eventually, who knows. I'm a very, very big fan of this track. Thank you very much, Checkers, for making it for us and giving away the code as well. It's very much appreciated. And it's not like a super hard track by any means. It's pretty damn straightforward. There's nothing. Please don't crash as soon as I say that. Thank you. It's pretty straightforward. There's one or two rhythms where you need to be a little bit precise, like that little split that I just went through. But other than that, it's a very, very good place to be getting upside down in the air. Like the jumps are really, really nice and flowy. Quite a few uphill step-ups, which you like. I'm running the road on 0.9-ish at the moment, and we are on lap number 8. That's lap 8, really? Didn't know I'd done 8 laps. That's flown by. And you can just start to see in some of the corners where the rut's getting a little bit darker, where I've been in it a few times. So it is starting to dig up and develop ever so slightly. And it's just really enjoyable, really fun, really flowy. And who knows what the future holds for Mr. Checkers. I feel a bit selfish just wanting more stuff from him all the time, but he makes really, really good work. And I don't think he's really missed on a track yet, especially in this game. So yeah, check it out if you want to. And I thought I'd give you a little bit of a backstory on Checkers as well. He's been around for God knows how many years at this point, and he is probably the mastermind behind some of your favourite games from your youth, from your past as well. So give some praise to him as well in the comments, and let me know if you've played this track already and you do enjoy it. And if you enjoyed this video, if I could just ask for a like, and if you like what you see and you want some more, then subscribe to the channel. It's very much appreciated. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.
Lynn's in the zone, never backing down. Riding MX bikes, he's the talk of the town. 2022 champ with a YouTube crown. His game is tight, no signs of slowing down. Late nights, bright lights, he's chasing that fame in the digital arena. Writing his name, she's a 10 out of 10. Supporting his lane, hairline might receive, but his passion's the same.